Something fab has arrived. A Nintendo Entertainment System. It came with 3 games and cables. It was described as very temperamental. It's also very discoloured and covered in a mysterious white powder. The controller is in the worst condition, a browny yellow, collapsed buttons and a very cracked housing. I don't think this controller housing is worth saving, so I'm going to make a separate mod video. This cartridge is also very brown and has something broken inside. I'm going to make a short restoring this. The flashing red light, a sign of a bad connection in the cart slot. I'll try the other games to rule out a bad game cart. With PCBWay, you do not get what you pay for. You get much more, making higher quality boards than their competitors, with more customization options to perfectly fit your project requirements. They also offer circuit board assembly, starting from only $30 for 20 boards. Circuit boards from PCBWay, it's a no-brainer. They've got a big Christmas sale on at the moment, so check them out today. PCBWay, prototype the easy way. It's a millipede. I'm not sure if the millipede is responsible for all these webs, but they can make webs. The 72-pin cartridge connector is not soldered to the board. The motherboard pins look perfect. This looked like rust, but turns out it's just old brown flux from manufacturing. I'm going to try and retro-brighten this to remove the yellowing. The front buttons are very discoloured too. But first it needs a good clean. I'm using 6% hydrogen peroxide. 12% is preferred, but this is all I've got. I'm holding the parts down with blue tack and a wrench. I have a small salon UV lamp, but I'm going to try just using the power of the Aussie sun. It's looking pretty good, but I don't think it's getting much better. The bottom chassis can't be submerged in water because these controller ports don't come out. And these labels for the I/O are only paper stickers. I'm going to have to wash it gently. This channel in the shell reminds me of the Death Star.
And locked in.
My microfiber cloth keeps getting caught on these pins. Much better. One hour of OCD cleaning later. Now let's have a look at this cart slot. All the pins seem to be making a connection, except for pin 36, which is the authentication chip. It does seem to make a connection, but only at certain points. You see, the NES cartridge works similar to the M.2 slot on a computer, where it slides in at an angle and then is secured down flat. I cleaned the game's pins to rule that out. I can't see anything different about the condition of this pin. They all look pretty similar. I'm going to try a common fix for these 72 pin connectors: boiling it. Boiling it will clean all the pins and can supposedly reset the pins back to its factory position. After 5 minutes, I'll take it out and insert again repeatedly to dislodge any crud. Then I'll put it back in the water for a further 5 minutes, or until al dente. I'll douse it with alcohol to help evaporate the water and give it an extra scrub. I noticed the slot was tighter than before, and I thought I'd been successful in making the pins tighter. But then I noticed that the slots now had a slight bend in them. I had never heard this mentioned in all my research on boiling the connector. Now roughly half a dozen pins on each end of the connector have connection issues. I'm going to need to bend the pins manually, both the front set and the back. It was very difficult, but I managed to get all the pins connected again. But just in case pin 36 fails in the future, I can disable the authentication by cutting pin 4 on the lockout chip on the motherboard. This means the NES can also play imported games now. Let's check back on the retrobrighting. Unfortunately, the printing has faded to a light red. I'm not really sure how to prevent this. I had a brilliant idea to spray a clear coat over the top to darken the text. This did work, but I stupidly tried to wipe off my test patch. I've botched this, which is really fine, because if there's one thing I like more than doing a good restoration, it's showing viewers what not to do. That's what really makes me happy.
Josh, get out.
These buttons are a bit faded too, but the text isn't printed, which means I can polish them up nicely. Alright, let's put this thing back together. The cartridge works in the up position instead of the down, which is a common side effect of 72-pin connector repair or replacement. But the big problem is the graphics. You can see Mario is distorted, as is the scoreboard. I'm going to check all the capacitors, especially the ones on the power and video board. To access it, I need to desolder it from the motherboard. I'll remove as much solder as possible. Then add some Chip Quick low melt solder. Then the pins can be lightly heated with a hot air gun without damaging the board with excessive heat. I tested all the caps for capacitance and voltage retention, and they all checked out fine. However, I didn't have an ESR meter to check them properly, and I thought I might as well replace all the caps and the voltage regulator anyway, as they are 35 years old. Unfortunately, the problem remained. This leads me to believe that there's a problem with either the PPU, CPU, or graphical RAM. And seeing as these components aren't available anymore, there's nothing more I can do. The console ended up freezing and having further graphical glitches, which further confirmed my suspicion. This project took way longer than expected, partly because I would end up playing Mario for an hour every time I went to test something. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. See you next time.
How's your video coming along?
Yeah, I'm working on it now.